What is up, you guys? It's Alex here. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about something everybody wants. The most desired way to generate income in the business and finance world, and that is passive income. Please be sure to watch this video to the very end so that you can see all the ways that I go over on how you can put your first $1,000 to work and begin creating passive income without having to do any work behind it. It's the beauty of being able to tuck yourself in at night, waking up the next day with just a little bit more money than you did the day before. Keep in mind though, when you're first starting out, it truly doesn't matter how much money you make because seeing just a little bit of progress, even if it's just a few dollars, gets you hooked and looking for new ways to make more. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and get started on a few ways you can start your journey, even if it's just with $1,000, to begin earning passive income as soon as possible. Please do keep in mind that these ideas were made for you to implement and do to start building your portfolio without having to go around and try to sell information in an ebook or a course like many other people are doing right now with not too much validation behind it. And a quick disclaimer that I'd like to throw out there is that you guys shouldn't expect to be making large sums of money with your first $1,000 passive income investment. As the years gradually go on, the more you put into your portfolio, the more you'll get gradually in return. The point of this video shouldn't be so that you can double your money month after month, but more so to try helping you as best as I can on a small scale. That way you can understand these techniques and grow them as you start making more money later on, and of course, smashing that like button. So to begin, the first method and most common amongst all would be dividend stocks. Basically how this works is every time you buy a stock, you're buying a small ownership percentage in that company. In this case, Apple's dividend payouts is 0.71% annually. Although this doesn't seem like much, this is 100% passive income earnings that you receive for doing absolutely nothing in return. And after all, who doesn't like receiving money when not having to work for it? With that being said, the anticipation is also that the price of the stock will appreciate through time, which will also help contribute to your earnings as well. This is also how majority of investors view dividend stocks. They really like it for the sake of predictable cash flow 4 times a year, and then when the stock goes up, they can profit on that as well. You should definitely keep in mind though that you can lose money on paper in the event that the stock price goes down. However, majority of the companies still pay out regardless of their stock price. Just make sure that this is the case for the company that you're choosing to invest with. Some examples for you guys is Coca-Cola pays out 3.46% every year. Johnson & Johnson pays out 2.69% annually, Wells Fargo pays out 1.66% annually, and AT&T pays out 7% annually. In simple terms, what this means is for every $1,000 you invest, you can make between $28 and $64 of passive income annually. Although this isn't much, you should always keep in mind that you're doing absolutely nothing at all to make this money and will continue to grow as you add. Another piece of advice I'd like to share is that dividends are taxed at your ordinary income, which means it's taxed at your normal tax rate, and this is a disadvantage when you start making larger sums of annual income as it follows your tax bracket. Now, for investing $1,000 as method number 2, the second best way to make passive income is index funds. An index fund is a collection of stocks or companies that you can buy into. That way you own a small percentage of everything. And this method is a lot more time and cost effective while covering a little bit of everything instead of going and picking individually. One of the benefits to index funds is that they're extremely diversified, they don't cost too much, it's very consistent and a stable means of passive income, and they tend to perform way better than an investor picking out individual stocks. The third method could be investing in a real estate investment trust, also known as a REIT. This is the same exact concept of buying a stock within properties. This is how money is pooled to purchase medical buildings, restaurants, office buildings, apartment buildings, and then they pay out their profit in the form of dividend. Please do keep in mind that they will be taxed as ordinary income, and it's ideal to hold them within the Roth IRA or a 401k to minimize your tax bill. Now to move on to number 4, The fourth way to invest $1,000 in a safe manner is to look into bonds. Companies, states, and governments will give you a chance to invest with them. It's basically like giving them a loan and getting money back at a fixed rate, and it's really up to you if you'd like to go forward with it or not. Bonds have something what's called a maturity date, and what this means is that it's the length of the loan in which they're going to have to pay you back. And keep in mind, this is with interest, and these time frames can be within a few months, up to a few years, or even decades. They're extremely safe and extremely reliable, and you know exactly how much you're going to get paid at the end of it all. The reason why this is so safe is because if you go and invest in a government or state bond, the chances of either of those parties not paying you back is extremely low. And if not, we have a major problem other than just your bond. Now, those are some fairly simple ways that you can invest and make passive income with just $1,000. Anyone can do with absolutely no work attached and see results as soon as tomorrow. One of the last ways you can put $1,000 to good use is by starting your own YouTube channel, purchasing your own filming equipment, and kicking off your journey to making some fantastic videos many people will enjoy watching. Now, I've saved this last piece as the end of the segment because I'm not exactly sure if you would consider this to be passive income. However, once you do get on the gist of all of your work with YouTube and starting a YouTube channel, it can definitely become a fantastic ROI and something that helps out and pays you passive income after you've had everything set up. For those of you who don't know, you can start your monetization on YouTube with a couple of different requirements. One of them being that you have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, which is fairly easy once you start getting in the groove with your consistent uploads. People will begin to be more inclined to subscribe to you to see what you may have to offer in the future. The next one, which is a little bit of a milestone, is having 240,000 watch minutes, which equivalates to about 4,000 watch hours. It does take a bit of time as you have to continue uploading consistently and making sure that your videos are edited in a manner and such where people want to continue watching your videos. Those are going to be the two requirements for the recipe to join the YouTube paid partnership program. And it's very fun if you enjoy creating videos and editing them. It is something that is a bit time consuming, but you can use all of these different factors and channel your energy into creating some nice banger videos. And if you need some equipment, I have it in the description down below where you can find a ring light to help out with your lighting, cameras, even though you don't necessarily have to go with such a high-end camera. I went up with a little bit more of a professional camera because I use it for photography aside from YouTube. Now, for certain, you don't need all these different pieces of equipment to go ahead and start your YouTube channel, but along the way, as you begin to get more into it and you start seeing some traction within your channel, you can get these pieces of equipment to help make your transition into the YouTube space a lot smoother. You can get a tripod, you can get the ring light, and so many other things. And if you're interested in that, I'll have it in the description down below where you can check out where I got mine from, what I use specifically. And the most important thing, if you are planning on going into the YouTube venture, is to make sure that you can record in 4K in two different aspects. One coming from your camera and the other one coming from the SD card that you insert into your camera and create a format for on your computer. And so this is going to allow you to have upgraded 4K uploads, and it's going to help with uploading videos and being ranked, as the quality of the video does make a difference when you do uploads. It's definitely an active business, requiring time to create your content, organize your demonstrations, and editing. Keep in mind that it does take lots of time and lots of editing to finally come up with your final product, but the results can be tremendous with some consistency and hard work. All of these methods that I'm going through in the video are made for you guys to implement and use so that you can start beginning to grow your portfolio with even just your first $1,000. And keep in mind that it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but as time goes on, you can reinvest those profits to gain a larger and larger yield until you're at a point where you can survive off your passive income investments. If you're interested in any of the ways that I described to make your passive income with your first $1,000, you can leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to respond. And you can also go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you as soon as possible with as much help as I can provide you to get you started on your passive income journey. Alrighty guys, so that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope I was able to help you out with some ideas on how you can go ahead and start your journey to creating passive income with your first $1,000. Now you gotta also remember that it does take some time and it is a slow start. However, once you start making more and saving more, you can reinvest that money to create even more sums of passive income. And I really hope I was able to help you guys out. If so, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.